Chapter 1. Blue Star Alliance, Donghuang Kingdom, Z Province, Hongyan City, Ecological Research Institute Family Residential Area. A young boy with black hair and brown eyes was sitting on the bed, staring at a red kitten with a serious look on his face. Next to the bed is a 1-meter-high egg incubator. The upper half of the egg incubator is round and scattered with several large pieces of red and black eggshells. The young man's name is Li Chang'an, and he is a time traveler from the Celestial Dynasty. No, he is a person reincarnated from heaven. The kitten in front of me is not a cat, but an ancient dragon named Hell Flame Dragon. And now, this seemingly cute but actually terrifying little kitten is dependent on him. The thing is, the story happened one day ago. The memory of Li Chang'an's previous life has not yet awakened. He is just an ordinary high school student in the Blue Star Donghuang Kingdom. Although his family is richer and his father has more power, he is still a young boy. Forehead. No, to be precise, he is still a fledgling in the field of beast control. Young people from the Donghuang Kingdom who want to register as official beastmasters in the Beast Control Association need good academic performance. The final exam in high school is a top priority. As the final exam was approaching, he couldn't help but want to contract a beast, so he went to a second-hand informal market. At the egg gambling shop, I spent all the 1.2 million pocket money I had saved over the past 10 years and bought a giant egg with no date. According to the vendor's boast, a dragon might hatch out of it, and the stupid little Chang'an believed it. After buying the eggs, I ran home excitedly and took the instruments in Father Li's study to test them. Hey, he's a bastard! Xiao Chang'an, who had never experienced the dangers of society, was furious on the spot, and his strong emotions promoted the awakening of Xiao Chang'an's talent. The talent that originally needed to be awakened through the unification ceremony after the final exam of the second year of high school went berserk. Xiao Chang'an failed to control the violent energy of his talent, so his consciousness was torn apart by this energy. Then the memory of Li Chang'an's previous life awakened. The personality consciousness of more than 30 years in the previous life absorbed and fused the fragmented memories of Xiao Chang'an. So, there is Li Chang'an now, and the little Gulong kitten that appears next to him after he wakes up. After a sudden flash of little Chang'an's memory, Li Chang'an collapsed. Not only was the memory of his unlucky death in his previous life, but also the cute creature in front of him. In his previous life, Li Chang'an had an annual income of 6 figures, a daughter, a house, and both parents. He died of a blue-ringed octopus that got into the octopus barbecue while on vacation at the company. Then the first thing he saw when he woke up was a disaster that could be called the end of the world. This made Li Chang'an feel a little dazed. The memories of Xiao Chang'an came flooding back like a tide. The world he lives in this life is called Blue Star, which is similar to the name of the protagonist of an action game he played in his previous life. The Blue Star was originally a planet with a similar development history to the Earth. Until 570 years ago, humans from all over the world discovered similar ancient ruins at almost the same time. But what followed was the opening of void passages around the world. On the other side of the passage were various ancient and terrifying creatures, and the great cataclysm of Blue Star began. At first, the technological weapons of the humans on Blue Star were unable to cause harm to those ancient creatures, until humans explored the method of contract in the ruins. Using the combination of technology and the power of pet animals, humans have the ability to fight back. The era of cataclysm has officially begun. After 200 years of bloody fighting, the human side finally defended its homeland, even though it has been changed beyond recognition. Due to humanity's initial victory, the worlds on the other side of the passage were temporarily defeated. These worlds merged into the Blue Star, which had expanded hundreds of times compared to its original size. At this time, the danger level of Blue Star is countless times more terrifying than that of the Cataclysm era. With the continuous integration of other worlds, humans have found that with their current strength and population, they can no longer hold such a large space. The shrinkage of survival territory is inevitable. Later, with the completion of the Great Migration, many of the places where they originally lived became completely restricted areas. Order was unstable, transportation was inconvenient, and chaos seemed to be coming. Soon, the Blue Star Alliance launched the establishment of the Hunters' Union and the Blue Parliament. More and more Beastmasters became hunters and reopened the new homeland of mankind. At this moment, the era of Cataclysm comes to an end, and the era of hunters begins. After 300 years of continuous hunting and development, mankind has once again established a firm foothold on this new home planet. As social conditions improve and the population needs to be replenished, humans no longer seem to need to open up wasteland so frequently. They need a certain amount of time to rest. There is no need for so many hunters. After a long period of social stability, the age of hunters gradually came to an end, and a new era of beast control began. The Beast Control Association, established 50 years ago, has replaced the functions of many hunter unions and has become a symbol of the new era. But the Hunters Guild has not disappeared. It is still there, because there are still many places in the world that humans have not yet set foot on. As mentioned before, they also need to rest, and humans need to digest these living areas that are dozens of times larger than before. When we take a breath of relief, human expansion will begin again, as recorded in history. 30 years after the establishment of the Beast Controlling Association, the comprehensive popularization of beast control education in Donghuang Kingdom has been initially completed. It is now 50 years since the establishment of the Beast Mastering Association. After 20 years of checking and filling vacancies, Beast Masters in Donghuang Kingdom have become a very common profession. Almost every Donghuang person will contract a pet beast, and people of the older generation will also raise a weak pet beast through a beast ring for fun. Nowadays, the easiest way for young people in Donghuang Kingdom to become registered official beast masters is to study. If you pass the final exam of the third year of high school and the strength of your pet reaches the standard, you can register as an official Beastmaster with the Beastmaster Association. In the first year of high school, there are subjects such as basic Beastmaster knowledge and pet animal training. There are internships in the summer, which are used to determine the content of the second year of high school. The second year of high school exams consist of Chinese, mathematics, and 3 animal languages, as well as geography and comprehensive biology. The practical exam involves preparing a basic pet food. After passing the exam, the school will issue a trainee Beastmaster qualification. Regardless of whether they are rich or poor, they all go to the Institute of Ecology, where Lee's father works, at the beginning of the summer vacation to receive the initial pet beast. If not, you need to apply 3 days in advance. What a torture it is to be born into a wealthy beast-controlling family, but not be able to escape in advance. This is why little Chang'an couldn't help but buy an egg before the final exam for his sophomore year of high school. Along with the world background memory, there is also the identity and background of the kitten in front of me. Prison Flame Dragon, the founder of the name Hongyan City, a member of the ancient dragon clan. The so-called ancient dragon is actually a generally recognized name for the ancient beast family. They are not dragons. It's just that many ancient dragons have dragon horns, dragon scales, and other features on their bodies, so they are called dragons. The ancient dragon is an existence that is superior to the ecological niche of the high-level pure-blood dragons. It controls the power of nature and incarnates natural disasters that sweep across the earth. Therefore, it is also called a disaster beast. The best of the ancient dragon lineage can easily change the natural environment of a large country within a month. These existences have the name of real natural disasters. For example, the predecessor of the hell flame dragon in front of me is a beast of disaster known as the Fire King. Donghuang Kingdom sacrificed the lives of a saint, 3 guardians, and a large number of legendary beastmasters to kill the Flame King. The city built at the place where King Yan fell was Hongyan City, where Li Chang'an was located. The blood of the ancient dragon dyed the earth red, and the soil in Hongyan City was different from other places. It was as bright as blood, but very fertile. There are a lot of fire beasts here, and there is also a continuous volcano group outside Hongyan City. Meow? The red kitten tilted its head and looked at Li Chang'an aggrievedly, as if to ask, "Why are you ignoring me?" For some reason, Li Chang'an could sense the kitten's emotions. Suddenly, a bold idea emerged in his mind. Maybe. Chapter 2. How about trying to contract this ancient dragon? Li Chang'an's searcher Xiao Chang'an's memories seem to have no precedent of contracting an ancient dragon. There is also no mention of the caveat that humans cannot contract with ancient dragons. Well, at least the large collection of books in Father Li's study didn't say no. How about giving it a try? There are 2 major difficulties for human contracted beasts: compatibility and mental strength. The standard of Donghuang Kingdom's spiritual power is talisman, named after the divine talisman that measures spiritual power. An adult without professional training must have a mental strength of 1 character, and only if the mental strength reaches 5 characters can he or she be able to construct a soul contract. Hongyan No. 1 Middle School, where Xiao Chang'an attends, undergoes a physical examination every semester. According to the last physical examination report, Xiao Chang'an's mental strength was 9.5. He and Xiao Chang'an have the same soul, but they have different personalities. The personality in the previous life occupies the broken personality in this life, and they can completely form a soul contract. The second is the degree of compatibility. If the degree of compatibility between humans and pet animals is above 10%, the contract success rate will be 20%. For every 10% increase in compatibility, the success rate will also increase by 10%. The higher the degree of compatibility, the higher the success rate, and the greater the benefits of cultivating the pet in the future. For some reason, Li Chang'an felt that the compatibility between himself and the little guy in front of him was not low. It could even be said to be very high. Is it because you hatched it yourself? Still? Seeing the kitten nuzzling his head affectionately, Li Chang'an finally gritted his teeth and picked up the clingy little guy. Looking at the big glasses of the little cat, he said, "I will form a soul contract later. Don't resist." The little cat seemed to understand the meaning of Li Chang'an's words, and his body less than 20 centimeters obediently squatted on his hands. He called out very spiritually, "Meow!" Okay. Li Chang'an had the idea of a kitten inexplicably and became more and more sure that he and the little guy in front of him were very compatible. So, from the complicated memories, I dug out the fragments of Xiao Chang'an practicing the soul contract. After getting acquainted with each other for a while, Li Chang'an and Kitty sat face to face on the cartoon cat carpet in the room. Li Chang'an followed his body's instinct, activated his mental power, and gradually built a repeated contract formation in his brain space. Star carving formation. It comes from the development of ancient ruins and is the first choice of most beast control masters on Blue Star. When the star formation in the brain space was completely formed, Li Chang'an suddenly opened his eyes and extended his index finger towards the kitten. The little guy also cooperated very well, stretching out his pink and tender soles and touching Li Chang'an's index finger. The power of the star carving formation was sent into the kitten's body along the index finger. The little guy tilted his head, looking like he suddenly realized something. Li Chang'an waited for a long time, but did not get any feedback from the contract formation and felt a little uneasy in his heart. His mental strength cannot last long. The kitten's claws on its outstretched paws were slightly forceful and pricked Li Chang'an's index finger. A drop of bright red blood flowed along the cat's paw and into the kitten's body. Li Chang'an also felt something strange on his fingers, and his first reaction was that he was being tricked by this cute little thing. Immediately afterwards, his mental power collapsed, and the star formation in the brain space shone with light, looking very unstable. In an instant, a dark red shadow followed Li Chang'an's heart and stepped on the star formation. The star-carved formation that disappeared and appeared was stabilized in an instant. The star mark in the center of the formation gradually extended into a sharp star sword, and then completely formed. The dark red shadow roared up to the sky, and a doomsday-like scene appeared in Li Chang'an's mind. The volcano erupted, the earth shattered, and countless flames from purgatory rose into the sky, burning the sky. The scene ends with a planet reduced to ashes. Boom! 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 Li Chang'an's heart was beating violently like an ancient war drum, and an innate killing intent and disregard surged out of his heart. Damn! What the hell kind of emotion is this? Am I that grumpy? The culture engraved in the bones of the previous dynasty. The benevolence, justice, propriety, wisdom and trust expounded by 5,000 years of history, and the basic morality cultivated by 9 years of good education gradually suppressed this inexplicable emotion. When he was completely suppressed, the beating drum in his heart reached. At the climax, a touch of ancient and noble aura affected the little kitten along with the soul contract. At that moment, the little kitten's eyes were much more agile, and the proud bloodline hidden in the depths finally left traces of the name Li Chang'an. Li Chang'an opened his eyes and then fell down. The last thing he saw was the little guy's panicked eyes and that familiar feeling. Grass is a kind of plant. It's the awakening of talent. The second awakening of talent. The little guy surrounded Li Chang'an. The fallen body circled around a few times, raised his head, and felt the soul contract with Li Chang'an. After realizing that Li Chang'an was fine, he breathed a humane sigh of relief. He smoothed the fur on the blanket with his little paws and looked for it near Li Chang'an's head, a comfortable position. He yawned, exposed his pink and tender tongue, balled up into a ball, and fell asleep quietly. Li Chang'an dreamed that he was in the desert and encountered a sandstorm. Because he did not wear a mask, his nose always felt itchy. Just then, when he couldn't help but sneeze, he woke up from his dream. What appeared in front of him was a little red cat covered in red scales. Li Chang'an stood up suddenly and touched his heart with lingering fear. Is everything okay? Where is the contract? Li Chang'an calmed down. Come. A magnificent star carving formation is suspended in the brain space. In the center of the formation is a simple star carving mark, but the edges of the formation are covered with complicated patterns, which makes people dizzy. The star carvings of successful contracts in the textbooks. Is the formation like this? Forget it. Just survive. A belated excitement filled his nerves. I successfully contracted the initial pet beast, still an ancient dragon. Li Chang'an's strangeness to the other world since he woke up immediately disappeared. A lot. How do you describe this feeling of interconnectedness in souls? It's like being in a dry no-man's land and suddenly finding companions and water one day, that kind of joy and relief that arises spontaneously. Oh, by the way, also, there was a talent that suddenly awakened. Li Chang'an suddenly remembered that he had awakened a talent before he fell into coma. So he immediately used the soul contract to check his situation. Name: Li Chang'an. Race: human race. Strength level: level 0. Talent: ingenuity, heart of the ancient dragon. Ingenuity is Xiao Chang'an's awakened talent, and his awakened talent is the heart of the ancient dragon. Dexterity, being able to use hands dexterously. The affinity towards the ancient dragon to the highest degree, and is 100% compatible with the ancient dragon. After seeing the introduction of Heart of the Ancient Dragon, Li Chang'an, you finally understand why you can survive. 100% compatibility, it would be a shame if he failed. There is also an unparalleled intimacy. No wonder the little guy is so affectionate to him. As for the other talent, he hasn't found any shining point yet, and it doesn't seem to be very important. Oh, and there's the little guy's panel, too. After successfully contracting a pet beast, the soul contract can perfectly feedback most of the pet beast's information, and the effect can be called an eye of insight. Of course, only your own pets. Chapter 3. Li Chang'an couldn't wait to check the little guy's panel information. Name: Ryan Discattle. Race: Hellfire Dragon. Attributes: Level: Infancy. Potential: Natural ability. Low-level skills: Hell Flame, contact level, Flame Claw, contact level. Intermediate-level skills: Flame Spirit Coil, contact level. Status: Sleeping. 3 skills? One of them is an intermediate skill. Li Chang'an, who had all the knowledge of Xiao Chang'an, was shocked. He knew what this meant. Pet beasts are not the Pokemon games of the previous life. Newly born pet beasts will basically not have any powerful skills. Basically, there are only howls or hits. These 2 skills can either loudly remind the person to feed, or use the body to remind the person that it is time to feed. How can a little guy like this be born with 3 attack skills, one of which is a mid-level skill that only elite-level beasts can learn? It's just that he didn't have enough martial arts written on his face. And the little guy is different from ordinary pet beasts. He also has a real name. This is very similar to the high-level pure-blood dragon clan and those pure-blood mythical clans. Li Chang'an lowered his head and pondered for a while. He really should give the little guy a name, just in case. According to Xiao Chang'an's memory, the real name does not have power, but it involves cause and effect. This is especially obvious for humans and advanced races. If someone uses a pet with special attributes to perform a curse ritual, then the pet beast, whose real name is revealed, will appear extremely passive. It may even be life-threatening. Forget it. Let's wait until the little guy wakes up and ask for his opinion. Li Chang'an carefully lifted it up and placed it on his bed, covering it with a small blanket with gentle eyes. Then he walked out of the door and went to Mother Li's studio to find some milk to prepare. After that, he returned to the room and used the computer to check specific information about the world. After briefly browsing the web page and combining it with the memories in his mind, Li Chang'an temporarily relaxed. Nothing major is going to happen in Donghuang Kingdom recently, and his life is still guaranteed. But a fragment of memory caught his attention. Life was guaranteed, but studies were not. Li Chang'an slapped his forehead in pain. There will be a final exam on Monday, the day after tomorrow. The 4 courses of Chinese, mathematics, geography, and comprehensive biology have Xiao Chang'an's memory foundation, so there will be no problem. There is no problem in making food for pet animals. Xiao Chang'an has practiced it many times. It is nothing but the instinct of his body. Only the animal language course was really difficult for him, a visitor from another world. Even Xiao Chang'an, a top student, was suffering in this class, let alone him. The high school beast language class in Donghuang Kingdom includes 3 major beast languages, Del, Slu, and Dragon, respectively from 3 ethnic groups that have formed an eternal alliance with Donghuang Kingdom. The Del language comes from the Ailu tribe, the Slu language comes from the Yahunting tribe, and the Dragon language comes from the Shenlong tribe. The Elu tribe is a small tribe of orcs. Their specific appearance is that of a standing cat, but their intelligence is the same as that of a human adult. At present, the Elu tribe can be found everywhere in Donghuang Kingdom. For example, in Li Chang'an's mother's tea house, there is an Elu cat making snacks at work. The intelligence of the Yajun tribe is not as high as that of the Elu tribe. They usually only have the intelligence of a 7- or 8-year-old child. Occasionally, the intelligence of mutant individuals can reach human standards, but not much. The tooth hunters are small and medium-sized orcs. Their specific images can be divided into hounds, walking on all 4s, and kobolds standing on 2 feet. Most of the fangs are the former that walk on all 4s, while the latter are mutated individuals that look like orcs. Of course, both can be contracted by humans. Adult tooth hunters can grow to 2 meters tall, and mutant individuals can grow to more than 4 meters tall. The current record is 6 meters and 3 meters high. Unlike the Elu tribe, which can provide living assistance to humans, the Yajun tribe usually excels in hunting and fighting. They are the right-hand assistants of human beastmasters. The combat capabilities of the beastmasters assisted by the Tooth Hunter clan and the beastmasters assisted by the Toothless Hunter clan are simply 2 worlds apart. Finally, there is Dragon language, which is the most difficult of the 3 animal languages. It originates from Tianlong Island, an ally of Donghuang Kingdom. Although there are many types of dragon languages of the Dragon clan, there are only 3 that are truly effective. The Divine Dragon language of the Donghuang Divine Dragon clan, the Giant Dragon language of the Jinlin Empire, and the Ancient Beast language of the Ancient Dragon clan. Practical effectiveness is the so-called law of words, which is powerful language. In fact, Dragon language does not account for a large proportion in high school animal language courses. Most of them are questions used to draw points at the end. They are also a test used by Donghuang Kingdom to select talents with dragon affinity. In such a short period of time, Li Chang'an couldn't adapt to any one discipline. Just as he howled in pain, the little guy woke up and was awakened by the smell of the thermos cup placed next to the computer desk. Meow. So hungry. A child's voice suddenly appeared in Li Chang'an's mind. It was very clear and slightly confused. His first reaction was that it was haunted, but he quickly realized it. Oh, it's the little guy who woke up. Li Chang'an turned around and saw the little kitten struggling to stand up, and then crawling up his trouser legs with ease. The small body skillfully turned over to the computer table, unscrewed the thermos cup on the table, and drank. Here comes the hot milk. Li Chang'an blinked. Why is this scene so unusual, but also feels like it should be like this? A newborn ancient dragon uses a thermos cup so skillfully and drinks from it. Not all the drinking methods of cats are licking of. Ryan, how do you know how to use a thermos cup? The little guy drank all the hot milk in the thermos cup, licked the white milk stains on the side of his mouth with his tongue, and said loudly, "Meow." One more cup. Li Chang'an took the thermos cup handed over by the little guy in a funny way, and went to his mother's room to get some hot milk. After 2 bottles of hot milk, the little guy burped. Meow? Chang'an, what did you just say? Li Chang'an. After Li Chang'an told the little guy his doubts, the little guy explained matter-of-factly. Meow, meow. I am Chang'an's partner. Isn't it normal to know this? Li Chang'an was stunned for a moment, and the memory in his mind flashed back quickly, and finally stopped at a teaching class. This class was about the influence of the soul contract. From the beautiful lecturer invited by the province was wearing an OL outfit, wrapped in translucent black stockings, and wearing a pair of black high heels. She was meticulously talking about the content of the soul contract. Many classmates in the audience were staring at the 2 inches below the lecturer's shoulder blades, and the hip-hugging skirt can't cover the area. Only Xiao Chang'an, a beast-obsessed maniac, is absorbing the knowledge of the Beast Master. Well, he is not bad-looking, but the torso is too thin and cannot reflect the fullness. The beauty of the hip skirt. Li Chang'an objectively evaluated the appearance in his memory. The female lecturer once said, "The soul contract is not a master-servant contract. Although it has the attributes of master and slave, it is closer to an equal contract in nature." In other words, soul contracts are two-way. Especially for initial pet beasts, the cubs will be affected by the character and memory of the Beast Master and become more in line with human society. Humans are the same. They will be affected by the bloodline hidden in the body of pet beasts. The higher the level of pet beasts, the greater the influence it will have on you. After many Beast Masters randomly contracted a large number of pet beasts, their personalities have undergone huge changes, and even their personalities have split, giving birth to many antisocial, extraordinary people with twisted personalities and crazy. The original evil god cult was led by these people, so every contract with a pet beast needs to be carefully considered. Not only compatibility, but also temperament, character, and race must be considered. Otherwise, I don't want to see your wanted poster in the Beast Mastering Association one day. Recalling this, Li Chang'an remembered that the urge to kill before should have come from the bloodline of the prison flame dragon. He breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he suppressed it. Otherwise, he would have become a psychopath within a few days of living in another world. Who can bear this? No wonder the school requires students not to contract with the initial pet beast without authorization. When a group of little kids with unsound views and psychological defenses encounter this kind of thing, they will most likely break their defenses and become self-destructive. Then they yell something wrong. It's not me, it's the whole world. There are too few examples of successful suppression like him.
This is the end of the video. Let me know down below if you like this story. See you in the next.